If you make your little black dress out of one color, it gets a little boring, so add a wild lining on the inside. Hi, I'm Angela Wolf, and we're still on the little black dress. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to finish the back vent. A lot of times, if the dress is long, like to your knees, you need to have a little slit so you can walk, especially if it's a slender, cut real slender along the legs, which is really cute. So there are a couple different kinds. Here's one vent. I just opened it right down the center. Now you wouldn't want to do this if you were wearing a little bit shorter skirt or shorter dress, because then, this is like you have to think, this is below the mid-thigh to down. So kind of consider where your vent goes so you're not flashing everybody, but this is one, and this is another. Same length, except this one is folded over. What's the difference? Well, this one is a little bit higher on the leg, right at the top of your thigh, so you really wouldn't want to have this flashing open like that, because that wouldn't be good. So this actually just allows you to walk without showing skin. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. Here I have the dress that we've been working on. It's a little wrinkly, but here we go. So here is my vent. I've already pressed this, just like that. So when you're trying to figure out which way has the long side and which way has the short side, just take your right hand and flip it this way. Just like women's pants kind of fold this way, this goes this way. And so here's the long part and here's the short part. So I've already pressed this up for a hem, but I want to give it a good pressing here. When you press your hem, make sure you use a clapper so you have a nice crease. So here is what I've done. On the one side, I folded it just like this. So I have the hem folded up and the flap folded back. On the other side, all I've done is pressed over just the edge and then folded up the hem. So why am I pressing this where you know you're not going to sew it this way? You'll see. Okay, so let me turn this inside out so you can see it a little bit better. So here is our vent. So first I'm going to sew this side. If you wanted to have the side that just they both hang straight, like the orange dress that I showed you, you're going to do this on both sides. So let's do that one first. Here is the point, the bottom of your hem. And I'm going to take these scissors and slit. I'm doing just a little slit here, not cutting the original fabric. This is all seam allowance. I angled that right towards that pin. So now I have all these little slashes. Take this, fold it to the back, and take the two slashes that were up on the side and on the hem and match those. Just like that, using your pin as a point and your slash as the other edge. And I'm going to run this through the sewing machine. Starting at the pin, and just do a straight stitch all the way to your slashes. Just like that. Now remember, these slashes are on your seam allowance. Nobody's going to see those. So go back to the pressing. I usually stick my thumb right in the end, right at that point, and flip it. So half of the seam allowance is there and half is here. That's one side. And then here goes the other side of the flap. This is the one that we just pressed up a little bit. So you would top stitch all the way down this edge. But first, we need to finish this off. Now for this edge, all we're going to do is turn this inside out and stitch right along that line. So I'm going to just stitch right along that pressed line. And we're going to flip this inside out. Same thing. Inside out. So here is our vent. You can see how this side covers this side. I would top stitch along here, and on the outside of the dress, right on this flap, I would do a little top stitching right here to keep that in place. Another trick, if you're using a really lightweight fabric, is to use these drapery weights. I stick them right in the corner of the hem, both of them. Like this orange dress right here, you can hear them. They do set off metal detectors at the airport, but just tell them what they are. Anyways, if you have a lightweight dress, it holds it down. And that is how easy it is to hem with a vented hem on a little black dress.